In the quiet of the night, a lone road deputy patrols a rural county, one of the largest in the nation. The vastness of 4,775 square miles stretches into the darkness, surrounded by empty fields and sporadic clusters of trees. The deputy's headlights cut through the light fog, casting fleeting shadows. This is a place where the strange and the unexplained have been known to lurk, a place where eerie lights fill the sky and silent helicopters hover above the ground. Tonight, as he makes his rounds, the air feels different, charged with a sense of unease. As the clock nears midnight, the deputy drives down the deserted road at a steady pace, his mind wandering back to the safety of the town. But suddenly, a dark shape shoots out from the left, moving faster than his eyes can fully register. Before he can react, the impact is brutal and unmistakable. The car jolts violently, lifting onto two wheels as it barrels over the unknown object. The screech of tires fills the air as he slams on the brakes, bringing the car to a skidding halt. Heart racing, he turns to look back at what he hit, and there it is, illuminated by the fading glow of his headlights, a creature unlike anything he's ever seen. It stands 3 to 4 feet tall, its upper body disturbingly human-like but covered in dark, matted fur. From the waist down, it resembles a goat, with sharp hooves digging into the dirt. Its eyes, the deepest red he's ever seen, burn with an unnatural intensity. Small horns curve from its head, twisted and menacing. The sight of it sends a chill down his spine. He steps out of the car, his hands trembling slightly as he approaches the front. He's expecting to see the damaged, dented metal, broken lights, maybe even blood. But to his utter shock, the patrol car remains pristine, not a scratch on its surface. Disbelief clouds his thoughts as he remembers the jarring impact, the feeling of the wheels lifting off the ground. It doesn't make sense. He knows he hit something. Determined to make sense of what just happened, he shines his flashlight along the road. The beam sweeps across the skid marks, then into the dense brush lining the roadside. He searches for any sign, blood, for a mangled body, but finds nothing. Just the cold night air and the rustle of leaves. Then, from the darkness, he hears a sound. Movement in the weeds, growing closer. His heart pounds as he grips his flashlight tighter, the light trembling in his hand. Instinct takes over, and he slowly backs away toward his patrol car, his eyes never leaving the darkness. His hand reaches for his pistol, fingers tense around the grip. He can feel it now, the presence of something lurking just beyond the reach of his flashlight. As he finally makes it to the car, he slams the door shut, the echo cutting through the still night. Without a second thought, he fires up the engine and speeds off, leaving the scene behind him. The next day, in the light of the sun, the world seems ordinary again. The deputy's friend inspects the car, crawling underneath to search for any trace of what he hit. The deputy stands nearby, eyes still haunted by the memory of that night. But there's nothing, no scratches, no dents, not even a smear of dirt. The incident from the night before feels like a distant nightmare. Except the skid marks on the road are the only evidence that it was ever real. Later, in the dim light of the sheriff's office, the deputy recounts his encounter to the sheriff and undersheriff. He watches as the sheriff's expression shifts to something almost knowing. The sheriff leans back in his chair and tells an old tale. Miners from years ago had whispered about a creature they called the Goat Man, a figure born from the dark, hidden places of the earth. The legend is old, buried under layers of time, but the fear in his voice is unmistakable. Days later, as the patrol car drives down the lonely road at dusk, the deputy feels that same chill from that night. He knows now that whatever he encountered isn't just a legend or a ghost story, it's something real, something that's still out there. And as he looks out into the fields, just beyond the reach of the fading light, he swears he sees a figure, a twisted shape with burning red eyes, watching him from the shadows. He drives on, but he knows he will never truly leave that encounter behind.